Every day, the guys they're asking, how many coffins did we find? The answer is, I don't know yet. Wait, and you will see such a lovely surprise. It's not finished yet. It is just the beginning.
Welcome back. An independent Egyptian teacher, Dr. Hussein Zanaty, has become an educational icon in Japan. Currently, he supervises almost 14 schools through teaching, training, and enriching the research in educational development. More details in the following story.
An independent Egyptian teacher has become an educational icon in Japan. Currently, he supervises almost 14 schools through teaching, training, and researching in education development. Dr. Hussein Zanaty, who was born and lived in Upper Egypt, graduated from the Faculty of Arts of Al-Minya University in 1989. Zanaty obtained his Master in Arts of Education from Heidelberg University in the United States in 2009. And got his PhD in Manufacturing System Engineering, Computer Science and Technology in Education from Kitami Institute of Technology. Zanaty met with his Japanese wife at the World Red Crescent and Cross event in Spain 1992. He lived in Egypt for 4 years. His Japanese wife had some health troubles, which obliged her to stay with her family in Japan, a matter which caused a sudden problem for Zanaty whether to be in Egypt or Japan. He decided to leave his homeland and move to Japan's Osaka city, where his wife stayed. Then he left for another small city for work as he worked in polishing knives, cutting wood, and cleaning floors. Zanaty wasn't able to talk Japanese, so he was hosted by a family to live with them, and here he started to teach children English. Zanaty started teaching only 4 students, then the number had increased to reach 80 students. This city's residents refused his request to learn their children for free. After that, he established a language school for learning English, Zanaty Language School. Zanaty invented his style in teaching English for Japanese kids through an interesting teaching way through learn, play, and share style. Their method is also turning the school book into a play or a song in an interesting way, a matter which creates more interaction between the teacher and students. The Egyptian teacher said that educational system in the Japanese schools is based on giving free time for students between 2 classes to easily continue their studies, stressing that the first 3 grades are for showing the child's innovation.
And we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by the Egyptian teaching icon, Dr. Hussein Zanaty from Japan, to know more about his achievements. Dr. Zanaty, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Sir, you have recently received the Best Social and International Contribution Award in Japan. What is the significance of this honor and how do you feel towards it?
Thank you for inviting me to your remarkable program and allow me to send my heartfelt greetings to all Egyptians. I always wish them happiness and their health. I was honored to be awarded as the Best Foreigner Medal for Social and International Contribution based on 20 years contribution to the Japanese society from the National Association for Good Deeds of Japan under the supervision of the ruling family. And as an Egyptian and Arab, I'm very happy with this honor, and I dedicated this honor to Egypt and my family and my friends.
Dr. Zanaty, why did you choose to travel to Japan, particularly to carry out your educational mission?
Yeah, as all of us knows about, Japan has always had a reputation for its distinctive culture and unique traditions. And personally, I was curious about knowledge and eagerness to learn more about how to build society, and self-development also attracted me to explore more. And I was also curious to know about the mysterious innovation behind the success of the Japanese society. And in particular, I do thank my generous wife, who gave me the opportunity to learn a lot about the Japanese society, and she was always side by side at every stage, starting from working in a small factory, passing through all the difficulties to reach the doctoral degree, till I was nominated as the ideal researcher and also nominated for the National Society.
Yes. Sir, what were the difficulties that you did face when you first arrived in Japan?
Yeah, like any expert or some of the Egyptian living abroad, I faced many difficulties. But I call these difficulties, I could say that they are the justification for success, because it helped me to learn many skills and how to adapt to different cultures. For example, the language barrier was a big burden for me because most of the Japanese people don't speak English and, of course, know the Arabic language. So I had to do my best to learn the Japanese language as quick as possible without paying attention to the quality of work. So I had a lot of difficulty for communicating with the people at the beginning, but I could, after 1 year, I could, with the hard work, I could manage to speak English and start to involve in the Japanese society.
Yes. Dr. Zanaty, you did obtain your Master in Art of Education from the United States in the year 2009, and you got your PhD from Kitami Institute of Technology. What were the main targets of your studies through the 2 degrees?
For master studies, I specialize in education and teaching methods.
Yes.
But for the doctorate degree, with the technological development, I specialize in transferring traditional education to digital education. So I started working on projects in e-learning, such as the Global Environment Project with the Duke University in Kyoto City, and the first digital tourist catalog project for Minya, my hometown. The digital library project for language and handmade activity for the children with the special abilities, and also the edutainment and the discovery project that I'm doing now with Thank You Action.
Indeed. Dr. Zanaty, you established a language school for learning English, Zanaty Language School. Can you tell us the reasons behind establishing your own school in Japan?
Yes, after I had a year staying in Japan, I felt a big gap in the perceptions of Japanese children and their global understanding. Because Japanese Japanese children are sometimes called, there's an expression about the Japanese children called, they have the mind of islands because they are surrounded by water all the land. So they don't have they don't have much information about the global understanding. So that was my main target, that I would like to open a new place that the kids can have the environment, not to learn about language, but to learn more and be involved more in the culture and the global activity, especially with Egyptian kids.
Yes. Dr. Zanaty, you invented actually your own teaching style for teaching English for the Japanese kids, an interesting teaching way through learn, play, and share style. Can you tell us more about this method of teaching and to what extent it is effective?
Yeah. In fact, there's a difference between teaching in like just to memorize like information, and between the habit of learning, like how to enjoy the learning. So this was one of the main Zanaty styles, that we open the chance for children to have the interesting education, edutainment education, and then like develop their curiosity, their creativity, their anxiety. And this is what we do exactly through project-based learning. So giving them a chance to create, think, and play, share, and develop their thinking.
Sir, also, how do you assess the Japanese educational system in general?
Well, Japanese education, especially in the basic education stage, it's really they have a unique basic education and valuable beginner for building the children's personality. The feature of Japanese education depends on building physical, mental, and academical ability.
Yes.
And also at the same time, they work hard on the balance between them. Also, the Japanese education provides equal educational opportunity for all the segments of society throughout Japan. It is also concerned with good education and also child rule in society, because they believe that the child is the pioneer of the future of Japan.
Yes. Sir, what is the importance of the current cooperation between Egypt and Japan in the field of education from your point of view?
I feel that the Egyptian-Japanese schools project in Egypt is one of the most important components of development in the Egyptian society. Actually, in Egypt now, we need self-developers. We need students who are really aware and productive to be the pioneer of the Egyptian society in the future. So I could say that the Egyptian-Japanese partnership in the field of basic education and higher education is a partnership in community development. So the educational projects presented by the Japanese government have a strong impact on human and cultural development. And here, I'd like to cite this opportunity to give a big appreciation to our His Excellency President Fattah Sisi for his visit to Japan a couple of times to work on this issue.
Yes. Finally, Dr. Zanaty, what are the other steps that should be taken to upgrade the educational system in Egypt from your point of view?
This is a very critical question. And then I would say that we need community confidence in the effort that's done on the ground now.
Yes.
For example, the executive authorities also, they have a lot of challenge to face a lot of problems in the field of education. Yes. And I would also say that if we can open the door to get the help from the Egyptian experts abroad to participate in the local development. And I think this is what the Ambassador Nabila Makram, Minister of Excellency, Minister of Immigration, called for by linking Egyptian scholars to the homeland. Yes. And I hope that I will be honored to work in the Egyptian-Japanese Society project and to contribute to the powerful effort that's being done from JICA and other Japanese staff.
Yes, indeed, Dr. Hussein Zanaty, our Egyptian teaching icon. Thank you very much for being with us. It's really a pleasure to listen to your precious input and to your achievements. Our dear viewers, that would bring us to the end of this edition of our program, Cairo Local Time. Thank you very much for watching.